Welcome to Inside Design with Kandrak and Cole, hosted by two nationally published Atlanta interior designers, Joanne Kandrak and Kelly Cole. These energetic women are also world travelers, charity givers, and bloggers with a wealth of information to share and stories to tell about the interior design world. Okay, now just a warning, this is going to be fun and not too serious. After all, they still do have an interior design business running at full speed.
Hey everybody, thanks for joining us. This is Inside Design with Kandrak and Cole. This is episode 56, and today we're talking about the designer experience. So, a few shows ago we told you that we were invited to go to Napa for a brand immersion. Well, we got invited again to another trade event. This time it was in Greensboro and Highpoint, North Carolina, called the Designer Experience. So this Designer Experience is a 2.5-day symposium exclusively for the trade, and it's a creative forum that puts a unique spotlight on North Carolina's legacy as a center for textiles, furniture making, manufacturing, as well as its appreciation for farm-to-table dining and wining. So that's right up our alley. So it's designed to inspire, educate, entertain, and foster lifelong relationships, which we did. The event delivers custom-designed, accredited educational experiences. Plus, we spent a lot of time with great food and culture in North Carolina. So it was hosted by or put on by PBM Brands and Designers Today magazine, which if you are a designer out there listening and you're not reading Designers Today, you absolutely should, because it is so great.
It's a great magazine. As a matter of fact, the current issue, which is, would it be June or July? I don't know. The front of it has,
I think it's July,
some beautiful artwork by Kelly O'Neill. It's a really colorful, beautiful,
one of our favorite artists.
So we stayed at the Proximity Hotel, which is in Greensboro, which this was the first LED Platinum certified hotel in the United States.
I didn't know it was the first.
It was the first.
Oh my God.
Yes.
It was so nice. We're used to going to Highpoint and staying in a dump, and because we could never get into the Proximity. And so this was a great chance to.
Yeah. Beautiful, beautiful hotel.
I loved our room so much.
Yeah, it was really, really great. So day one, basically from the time this thing started till it ended was super fabulous.
And we didn't breathe.
Yeah. Day one was Jill Seale. Seale.
Look her up.
She is so amazing. She's a product designer, artist.
Yeah.
She worked in event planning and did a lot of things at the White House with the McCains and whatever. Anyway, this is now her new career.
New gig, yeah.
And she does, other than doing licenses for other, products and things, she really fell in love with marbling, which is a technique where paint kind of sits on water, and you can do all kinds of different designs by using sticks and all these different
brushes
tools
and rakes, and she layers the paint, and it's so beautiful. And then she turns it into wallpaper and fabrics, and I'm like, where have you been all my life?
Yeah,
but she hasn't been in business doing her marbling for that long. She went to Italy and spent a lot of time there and learned
in Florence. This is kind of where they do this type of art, which has been around for really, really long. But what was so great was she had a big table set up for us designers. There were about 50 to 60 designers there.
Yeah.
And had a marbling table, which she called it, with maybe 5 or 6 trays, and then a drying area. So we all got to do it. That was really, really fun.
Yeah. And I'm like, you live in Charlotte. Where have you been? Why don't I know you? I mean, it was so exciting because most of the events that we go to, we have like a whole gaggle of friends, and so we don't really venture out and meet new people. But this was the editor of Designers Today, Jane Dagme. She did such a great job pulling together designers from all over the country. So when we got there, what do you think? I think I knew 2 people. It was so great to meet. It was
really great. It was really great.
Yeah, to meet new people. So after that, after Jill spoke, then Lisa Mindy spoke. And she is a great designer friend of ours. And she is Lisa Mindy Design, if you want to look her up. But she kind of told her life story. And it was so inspiring, just from one designer to another, and all that she's learned growing up, and how far she's come, and how her job has changed, and she had a child die when he was in college, and it was just great.
It was a great story of moving on and all that she went through, and she's an amazing designer.
Yep. Yeah. So she's from Charlotte too. So that was fun to.
Okay, this part was like something that I didn't really expect.
Yeah.
And it was like one of my favorite things. So they had a panel of products that are made in America. Mm-hmm. There was Norwalk Furniture, Capel Rugs, and Sylvester Alexander. Now, Norwalk and Capel have been around for a really long time, but Sylvester Alexander has only been around the last couple of years. And
well, first of all, I thought Norwalk was like dead.
Well, they were. I guess back in 2008, they were retail stores.
Yeah.
And then in 2008, when everything went kind of crazy, they closed down. Mm-hmm. All of their stores, their whole staff, which had worked there for very many years, and they're in a small town of Norwalk, and most of the people that lived there worked there. So what happened was 6 weeks later, 12 employees purchased the company back and got it going again. They did not continue to do retail. They now manufacture for the trade and for furniture stores, and that's their...
Caroline Hippel, who is the president, a female president of a furniture manufacturer, which is
many.
Amazing, and she is the coolest. I got all teary telling this story, and then we all started getting teary. I mean, thinking about, she's like, yeah, for 6 weeks, Norwalk Furniture disappeared off the planet, and then the people rallied and they brought it back to life. I mean, oh my gosh.
What I noticed from all of these on the panel, they have such a heart for their employees.
Yes.
Because they, it's a craft that they've learned. It's a small town. These people live and breathe these companies, and, mm-hmm. and they really care about these people. It was more about, we didn't just lose the company. Mm-hmm. We provided jobs for these people. So that was very heartwarming, and it was so sincere.
Yeah. So look out for Norwalk Furniture. It's bigger and better and stronger than ever, and I'm really excited to work with them.
Yes.
And then we got the opportunity to listen and learn a little bit more about Capel Rugs, who is now run by third generation, I think. Might be fourth. But, a lot of companies these days barely make it to the second generation, if you've ever kind of looked into this, and rarely does it make it to the third, and definitely the fourth. It isn't interested in this kind of thing anymore. So when you find a company that's still hanging in there with family, and it's quite impressive.
Capel was, we would have known them mostly for their braided rugs. Do you remember back in the day that oval braided rug? They were usually like in a like a terracotta color, mm-hmm. and beige and green. They were reversible. Apparently, they still do make those.
And they're very, very popular, she said. Yeah.
And they do so much more, though. But they've done a chenille in these braided rugs, which it makes them very soft and kind of gives them a different texture. I happened to be sitting at the seat that had the sticker underneath and won a rug. But what was so cool is when I brought it home, I was looking at the back to see how to clean it or whatever, and there was a special tag from the person who hand-stitched it.
Oh, gosh. I love that.
And did that and signed their name and how proud they were to be able to, for you to have this piece.
That's awesome.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah. So the next guy that was on the panel was Mitch Cutie Pie.
Oh, so handsome. So handsome.
So this is a very cool thing. So he's worked in the furniture industry for a really long time. I think he worked at Thomasville, maybe, and worked with all their upholstery and stuff. And the recession came, and he had this idea that he was going to build a 16 by 20 structure in his backyard, and he was going to start his own company. It took a while. He worked really hard. He learned the crafts, a lot more about custom furniture and upholstery, and he kicked off this company. Sylvester Alexander is only 3 years old. His wife and he are a power team. They have 7 kids between them, and their furniture. So if you're they sell only to the trade. So sorry, peeps, but if you're a designer listening, Sylvester Alexander makes furniture from scratch to any specification that you want. So if you see a picture and you want to copy it, if you have an heirloom that you want to copy, make it new, twist it, whatever, they can do it. Mm-hmm. I mean, really awesome.
Cheryl Luckett, who is a a fantastic designer. She did a small product line with them. So, and, she just talked about how wonderful they were to work with, and just, it's kind of great to have someone who is, has that kind of experience in upholstery and can do anything. And that was the thing. You could really see the passion when people talked about it. And it just gives it a whole new feel when you see what's really behind a brand.
And to work so closely one-on-one with the manufacturer. I mean, we're not, this isn't a big box situation. Yeah. This is talking to the actual people that are making it and collaborating and making something really awesome for our clients. So, you don't run into that much anymore.
Yeah. So that was really, really awesome. And then that night, incredible party that was sponsored by Universal Furniture and Krypton. Universal has a Paula Deen collection. They have upholstery, case goods, a lot of bedroom stuff. Great company that we buy a lot from. And then Krypton, if you've listened to our episodes before about performance fabric, Krypton is one of those that you could spill a glass of wine on, it'll run right off. So that was a really fun night. We met a girl from Philadelphia who is a designer and who used to be a singer years past. So Kelly,
after many glasses of wine,
the friendly person that she is, and the very demure personality that she has, went to the band and asked if the girl could get up there and sing. And of course they let her. And this girl got up there, a cappella, sang Landslide. Oh my God, what a highlight of the night. Everybody that was there was watching her on the stage and clapped. It was so great. It made her feel so good.
It was so good.
That was a great day.
Yeah, we have lots of new buddies, and I love that.
Yeah.
So that was day one. Oh my gosh, I'm tired just talking about it. So then, don't mind, the puppies are in the office today. That would be Ollie, my obnoxious puppy. Okay, so day two, we started out, I think we were up in 7:30 in the morning.
Yeah. They had yoga, which I was going to go to, but I left my yoga clothes in the car and I wasn't going to go out and get them.
Yeah. So first off was Melissa Galt. Melissa Galt is a great designer and leadership coach, and she's been around for a long time. And she did a kind of a coaching speech presentation on
time management.
Yeah, how to get more done and love your business more. And that was nice. That was just good to hear some solid basics of what we should be doing to make our days longer.
Yeah. So from there we got on a luxury,
coach bus
and went to Phillips Collection.
This was probably one of the highlights for me.
Please look them up. This is a company that I've been following them for a long time.
We buy a lot from them. Yeah,
but they have a video. Well, let me back up.
Okay.
So what they do is they do a lot of organic products from Thailand, Bali. One of their claims to fame is Live Edge.
Coffee tables.
And they do great things with the roots. Everything is very, very sustainable. But they will go to Thailand and they've worked with the farmers there to chop down these trees and then grow another one and pull the roots out so that they're not stuck there. But their whole philosophy and their whole attitude towards the sustainability and the kind of things that they sell was amazing.
Yes. And if you think, so when you look at their website, imagine the size of the tree that you have to find in the world to make a table that's, gosh, in the factory there were so many, 10, 15, 20 feet long in one piece. And they're, like we said, they're working with these farmers and they're paying $10,000 to $20,000 per tree. And then they have figured out this really cool way to get all the roots up. Because once the tree is cut down, the farmer cannot aerate, that piece of land because, of course, the stump and the trunk is so massive. So they do it with water and they laser it out. Their stuff, they had geodes, they had stone bowls, and the factory went on, and you've never seen such beautiful wood pieces in your whole life. And you just have to understand what Live Edge is and go look at their website. But the video that they have on there to show their story, and it's a dad and his son that run it, and they were there. Such nice people, and again, kind of like Sylvester Alexander. Didn't you just feel like like you just want to promote them and love them and use their products because there they are. It's real. It's not an import, you know?
Yeah, they really are passionate about it.
They were very impressive.
Yeah.
So we were there for quite some time and we had a great lunch there. And then we got back on the bus and we went to the Lexington Design Center, which we visit during Highpoint. We sell Lexington. Our rep, Grant Ford, is a buddy and he's awesome. And so we went there to look at their amazing showroom, part of it, and to also have a CEU discussion with Marsha Blake of Glen Raven, who is the parent company to Symbrella, and she did a whole CEU presentation on performance fabrics.
One of my other favorite things.
Yeah,
I thought I knew a lot, but I learned so much about Symbrella and the way they do things.
It was amazing.
And what is interesting, Marsha gave an analogy of the differences between their product and so many of the others, where there's a lot of science involved, so I don't really know all that, but they dip these yarns in some kind of polymer and dye, and so the color goes all the way through the yarns.
Which is called solution dyed acrylic. So when you see it say solution dyed acrylic, I don't know, 100% of the time is it Symbrella or
no,
maybe not?
I'm not sure. Actually, there might be other smaller companies.
That's what I look for because it means it's going all the way through.
They're the big one. Mm-hmm. Where other companies do a surface treatment. Mm-hmm. So she gave the example of Symbrella being the carrot, where it goes all the way through.
The color,
and then the others being a radish, where it's kind of that reddish pink on the outside, but white on the inside. So what happens is over time, the top treatment will eventually wear away, where Symbrella, and then she gave an example of a navy blue piece of fabric.
They passed it all around. It was like a soft yarn.
Yeah, and you could stick that in a bucket of bleach for years, and it would never change the color. It's because Symbrella is bleach cleanable. You don't have to be afraid that something's going to happen to it. So it's like the power fabric for sure.
What also I thought was really cool was she said, you would never buy a car and not clean it. So it's not indestructible, Symbrella. You still have to clean it and, vacuum it and just, take care of it. But she said when mold and mildew gets on a fabric, at least for Symbrella, it's not adhering to the fabric. It's adhering to organic material on the fabric. Organic material being dust, dirt, pollen, what have you, that wasn't wiped off or wasn't vacuumed. And the mold and mildew is sitting on that.
Not on the fabric.
Correct. So, but it is kind of adhered. So the only way to get it off at that point is to bleach it. And you can use straight up bleach. I always kind of mix it with water and I get all nervous with my white rag. No, straight up.
And they keep getting better and better and better. We got to, right after that CEU, that presentation, we went to their offices.
Their headquarters.
Which they just moved into in October. And it's the old Glen Raven factory.
Yep.
And
not that long ago.
No,
they were just manufacturing the fabrics there not that long ago.
Brick walls, super high ceilings, super industrial, but they've put a real big modern take on it. And so we split up into 3 groups and had a tour guide. So we went to speak with the people who are designing the fabrics. Mm-hmm. We went to the marketing department, and then we went to, what was the third thing? I don't remember. We watched a video.
Yes.
On Symbrella's history. This I thought was a really cool fact. Mm-hmm. The American flag that was
on the moon,
put on the moon, was made by Symbrella.
I mean,
it's not a Symbrella fabric, but it's a nylon. But they are the ones who made it.
Yeah.
And then the founders of Symbrella are the ones who created. They were called
you mean before were they doing Symbrella at the time they made pantyhose? They were the first creators of pantyhose.
They were the first creators of pantyhose. They called them what? Something undie panties or something.
And then one of the designers in my group, we all had split up. She goes, and we don't wear those anymore. And they said, yes, and we know, and that's why we got out of it in the 80s. I said, "Oh, it's all right. You had to make room for Sarah Blakely and her Spanx."
Yeah, these are things that you would never know unless you kind of did something like this. So I just have like such great memories. And once again, all the people that worked there, you could tell, loved working there. So proud of the product and so proud to be working there.
I worked there for a long time.
I love, yes.
They had this really cool thing that, you know, I'm so intrigued now with the advent of WeWorks and Rome and all these totally funky, cool work environments. They had this, oh gosh, it was like an amphitheater, but in the very front of their offices, right in front of a wall, floor to ceiling windows that was, you know, kind of just tiered, like you would be going to
a gym when you go to
a gym, yeah. But really pretty, like wood tiered seating with cushions
in umbrella fabric,
and of course, and outlets at you know, underneath your seat. And so, you know, if you're an employee, well, I think they have meetings there and stuff, but if you're an employee and you just need to get out of your office or your cubicle or whatever, and you want lots of natural light on your face and you just want to sit there and take a break or bring your laptop over, you can do it. I mean, it was, super cool. Super cool. Yeah. So, and then we stayed there for dinner and drinks, and that was totally fun. And you're smiling at me. Did I do something crazy that night too?
I'm thinking of
it was
the bacon wrapped cheese straws.
Oh, that's why she's like smiling at me. I'm like, what did I do? I know we drank a ton of wine.
I have never in my life
had
anything so delicious.
Bacon wrapped cheese sticks with straws with like candied sugar on the outside. Just shoot me now. That went right to the hips, and I didn't care. Okay, so that was that night. I think we got back at like 10. Up again the next morning for day 3
with the greatest breakfast. The food the entire time was amazing.
It was every bit of it.
So then we got on another bus and went to a company called Markor, Markor, and they are the parent company of Caracol, which is a company we buy from, ART, Jonathan Charles, and Rowe Furniture. So this building that they created is brand new, really.
If you're a designer and you go to Highpoint Market, you have to go.
Yeah, it's a big white building.
It was beautiful.
Yeah, and they had all of the suits were there.
The suits were there. It was a big day.
And they took us to each of the individual manufacturers to look at their product. Once again, learned so much. More than I thought I knew about these companies. And they also were very passionate about their business, how they, see the future in furniture, and another CEU on how Jonathan Charles does some amazing carving. I was so impressed. Paint. Yeah,
how they manufacture their pieces.
Yeah, you have so much more of an appreciation when you see how it's made and what, where it comes from and how this handmade stuff.
Absolutely.
The people that do it.
Absolutely. And ART Furniture is one that we had never bought from before. We had never even looked at their stuff. They've been around for about 10 years, but they have not really been reaching out to designers like so many of the other manufacturers do. So they're really trying hard to do this. And I didn't tell you this, but I got a thank you letter from Roland, the VP of sales, and thanking us for coming in. And I had given him my card, and I just thought that was awesome. But I really like their stuff, and their showroom was unreal.
They have a new Bobby Burke collection, which is really...
That was probably my favorite.
Very mid-century modern kind of looking. I can see us totally buying some of that.
Yeah, I loved it. And then our event ended with the most amazing speaker, Amy Fleury. If you are in business of any kind trying to promote yourself, she has 2 books, Recipe for Press, 1 and then 2. And she's just an amazing, helpful leader in the industry of promoting yourself. But as a whole nother, away from her journalistic prowess, she has this company, you got to look it up on Instagram, called Paper Cut Project. And she and a business partner hand cut out of paper wigs that are used in high-end luxury windows, fashion runways, magazines. So Hermes,
Vogue,
Vogue Italia, the magazines and the companies, it's truly unbelievable. When I say wig, I mean, think of the fanciest, the coolest, the most intricate thing, and it's all cut out of white paper. It's the most beautiful thing.
Yeah, you have to look it up. There's no way we could explain about it. And she just, talked about her journey in starting this and how she promoted it. And
one seed led to another,
yes.
led to another. And what I loved was they were just starting out, and they had this big opportunity to be featured in Vogue Italia. And the photographer called her and said, I've already pitched it to the magazine. We'd love for you to do this. And I don't know if it was for Louis Vuitton or for Hermes or who was high end, Chanel or somebody. And the photographer said, but of course, we need you to do it for free. And she and her partner were like, no, that, this is 80 hours of work in one wig.
It's tempting.
Yeah. It could have been huge for them. And she's like, told the guy, she's like, there's no way I can do this for free. Can you go back to the magazine? And he kind of had an attitude. So rather than just like throw in the towel and go, man, that really sucks. She went to one of her favorite art galleries and said, would you mind sponsoring me for this project? And then, we'll circle back. I don't know if the wigs came back to the gallery for a show or
maybe they were they could print them and sell them as art.
Maybe somehow the gallery, won in the end. They all won in the end. But I thought that was great that she made it happen. She figured it out.
Yeah. Very cool.
So look her up, Paper Cut Project. Yes. So we just want to thank Jane Dagme and the staff at Designers Today and PGM Brands for including us, because we learned so much and had so much fun. Yeah. So, okay, it's quote time. Ready?
Okay.
All right, I'll do the funny one. So, I was in Santa Fe recently and for that wedding, and I loved it. So this was in a store window. Life is like a taco. How good it is depends on what you fill it with. Right?
So true.
So true. And our taco's very full right now.
Oh my God. It's overflowing. It's overflowing. But it's so good.
It is.
Okay, so our serious quote comes from Melissa Galt. She provided a few quotes in her presentation, so we'll probably be sharing a few of these.
Yes,
but
they were great.
Really love this one. Okay, this one is from H. Jackson Brown, and it says, don't say you don't have enough time. You have exactly the same number of hours per day given to Helen Keller, Pasteur, Michelangelo, Mother Teresa, Leonardo da Vinci, Thomas Jefferson, and Albert Einstein.
Well,
so is that
no complaining? I guess.
I mean,
yeah.
There you go.
What do you say to that?
What do you say to that? There it is. All right, everybody. Thanks for listening. We're probably going to have a few, these people that we talked about, we'd love to have a few of these people on as guests so that you guys can experience and hear a lot that we did, because we condensed it. But there's a lot of good.
I think Jason at Phillips Collection, I think I have an email from him this morning. So yeah, he's next. So Joanne's headed to Cleveland for a wedding. I am headed to Guatemala in 2 days for our annual mission trip. So when I get back, we will be filling you all in, and I'll be telling you all about that experience.
We'll be probably Instagram storying for a while. You'll probably see, a Guatemalan village, and then you'll see a bride and groom. It's going to be kind of a good mix.
Keep an eye on our Instagram stories where we try and do them every single day. So
we appreciate you listening, everybody. Thank you.
Thanks. Bye.
Join Joanne and Kelly weekly for a lively conversation about trends, travels to industry events, current design projects, the good, the bad, and the ugly, do's and don'ts, product recommendations, and more. Be sure to follow the fun on Facebook. They're on Instagram at Kandrak Cole. And of course, you've got to visit them online at kandrak-cole.com for more information.